Hey y'all, it's Lachi, and I'm back with another episode of Big Dis Glossary, serving up joyful nuggets of my tiny disabled rebellion. Today, I want to talk about masking. And no, I don't mean this kind, or this kind. I'm talking about the one you slip on to blend in. Masking refers to the shape-shifting people do to cosplay as normal, camouflage as typical, or switch on the socially acceptable filter, as if normal, typical, and acceptable were anything more than marketing terms, right? But when navigating a world that wasn't designed with you in mind, a lot of people do the gymnastics, the play acting, the performance, anything to put their real, true sparkle on airplane mode. Let me give you some examples. When I first entered the music industry, I did everything I could to mask my vision loss and neurodivergences like they were secret side lovers. I was out here tripping over cables and missing deal-making handshakes, terrified that if folks knew I was disabled or neurodivergent, then the opportunities would vanish faster than Girl Scout cookies at the office. You know, them Thin Mint ones. And I'm not the only one. President FDR survived polio, but hid the fact that he sometimes used a wheelchair. Anthony Bourdain masked his struggle with depression. And Robin Williams hid all sorts of things behind all that smiling. All three of these icons masked their disabilities out of fear of being seen as less capable or even unfit for the roles that they excelled in. We are taught to turn down our volume, smooth out our edges, and make everyone else comfortable. But the realest power move is showing up exactly as the masterpiece you are. My mask is now all the way off. And because of that, I got to meet fellow neurodivergent artist champions like Chris Redding, Jay Manuel, and Medusa, and we got together and wrote songs about our experiences, and now look at us. Our album, The Colors in My Mind, is now Grammy nominated because people crave that power, the ability to walk on this earth unmasked. Today, I always show up as my most authentic, unapologetic self. But I get why people mask. It's a survival instinct. But thankfully, I found power in my disability identity and showing off the deepest parts of myself society has told me I needed to hide. Because the truth is, the world doesn't need a filtered version of you. They need the you. I want to go back to this idea of the fear of being pathologized. You know, historically, when we had the Black movement, right? Folks would pathologize folks of color as not being as intelligent, right? That's a form of pathology. Folks would pathologize women as being hysterical. That is a form of pathology. Folks would pathologize indigenous people. There were things called like horse stealing mania. And so they would put people into different institutions with these made up horse stealing mania pathologizations. Folks would pathologize gay folks. Folks are currently pathologizing trans folks. I mean, at the end of the day, folks can pathologize anyone for anything at any time and change their minds. All this is to say that at any point in time, social constructs can shift, right? And this is why I argue that disability identity is a social construct and not simply a medical construct, because folks can switch around what they mean by pathologization. So when you embrace your disability identity, when you embrace that deep part of yourself that society tells you is limiting, and when you use that MacGyver as an asset, you're essentially saying, screw you and your pathology. Anyone can pathologize you for anything. So take all of those deep parts of yourself and celebrate them, and make sure you're accommodated. When everyone is accommodated, they bring their whole self to the table, bring their lived experience to the table, and then guess what? Their lived experience can end up Grammy nominated too. You can read all about masking and other deliciously disruptive jewels in my book, I Identify as Blind, out January 27th. And if you haven't pre-ordered it yet, babe, what is you doing? Hit that link and stick around for the next drop of Big Dis Glossary. We got a lot to cover, but for now, I'm gonna let you sit with that one.